Hey guys, Mustang here bringing you a Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be taking a look at the Kid Fu from the new Heroes batch, obviously Rainbow, full level 10 links. I haven't given him any skill orbs yet. I think for all the new Heroes units, pretty much their best build is like dodge and then additional as a secondary, and then of course you can supplement that with skill orbs depending on your playstyle and how you want the units to work. I always like to use the units at least once or twice, see how they perform, and then decide what I want to do with like the skill orbs, right? So we only got one 200% leader this year, which was the Goku. So Fu just has a time traveler's 130 lead. Probably not going to be used for anything for me. Like even in Battlefield, like when I run my mono teams, I'm going to be using leaders with a higher leader skill than this. But the leader skill obviously not really super important. He does infinitely stack attack. Each super is a greatly raise, and it's an infinite stack. Greatly raised defense for 1 turn, does supreme damage, and has a high chance to stun. And then his passive, key to attack and defense 150, additional attack and defense 50%, and chance to crit 20% per crossover or time traveler ally attacking in the same turn. So on the Heroes team, obviously he's going to be getting 100% to stats and 40% crit chance. Because he's going to have the 2 crossover allies on rotation with him. He gets an additional attack and defense 100% when performing a super. He gets an additional attack that has a high chance to become a super. Then he gets another additional attack that has a high chance to become a super and reduce damage received by 20% when there's another extreme class ally attacking in the same turn, or when there is a super class enemy. So both of those restrictions very easy to get for him. You're going to want to be running him with extreme enemies, allies anyway, and of course, even if you're not, a lot of the newer events are up against super class enemies. So that's very easy to get that. So multiple attacks within 1 turn. Then he gets a chance to crit 20% up to 40 and damage reduction 20% up to 40 within the same turn with each super attack performed. So if he does 2 supers, he gets up to an extra 40% crit chance and 40% damage reduction, which is really good. And then he has a high chance to change all key spheres to AGL and Tech, starting from the 5th turn from the start of battle. I think that's a very weird ability. I'm guessing that like it's mainly designed for if you're running him as like a slot 2 unit and you have the new Demigra in slot 1, because then he's creating orbs for like both of them, I guess. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what the logic behind that particular like orb change design like is, but hey, it is what it is. So he's not really a slot 1 unit, but I don't want to put this guy in slot 1. They share the exact same link set, so he has 7 out of 7 links with the Dark King Fu, as well as getting support from him. So we'll go ahead and see how he gets on here. He doesn't dodge straight away, which in very difficult events would be super awkward, but obviously ideally we wouldn't put him in slot 1. 9.4, then we get an additional that goes up to 10, and we have the potential to get another one here from the passive as well. That goes up to 11.2, and then we still have the possibility of the hidden potential. We've got a normal. But still, that's pretty good, because obviously we're already up to the built-in crit chance. We've got the damage reduction now as well. Remember, he gets 100% on super, so he was already at, what, like nearly 400k. So he goes up to 800k when he supers, plus all of the super attack effects, which the super attack is greatly raised defense. So after getting, what, 3 supers off, he was over 1 million defense with 40% damage reduction and the dodge chance as well. So that's pretty good. Obviously, he's not, like, insanely busted just from that one showing, but, like, that's pretty solid. Definitely want to get Meki Cabra floated off here. Just have to leave this other Goku as, like, the slot 1 for this rotation. I don't know how many... I can't remember how many orbs I got from him on his first turn. I'm not sure if the friend Goku actually has the, like, big attack buff, because you only need to get the 7 orbs once to then have that big 150% extra attack for the rest of the battle. But I'm not sure whether he did get that on turn 1 or not. So, didn't get hit. Obviously, Goku's kind of the out-of-place unit, because it's a shame we didn't get Fu as a 200% lead, so that then, like, the full Extreme Heroes team could like be a thing again. It's funny because in the year when Hearts and the Limit Breakers released and they were kind of locked to, you had to run like a super version of the team or an extreme version of the team, it was annoying because it was like you had to, and it was really difficult to mix and match them. Whereas this year, like, these units can be mixed and matched, but it's like it'd be super fun to just run a full extreme team. but obviously Hearts is a bit too outdated now. Super Saiyan 3 Rose is obviously an extreme 200% leader, but I suppose once Demigra's on the team, because we haven't done the showcase for him yet, he could be a good slot 1 for one of the rotations. But yeah, 431k means that immediately when he supers, he goes up to 860, which is obviously very, very good. And then obviously each super attack is a greatly raise, which I believe it comes off of this stat, although he is getting a lot of support, so I'm not sure if it counts the support. Because if it does, he's getting around 200k per super, and we know he can super 4 times in one turn. So we'll go ahead and do this. Grab those for you so you get your full buff. Obviously the free-to-play Easy A Toa, very, very good, very strong after supering. So she works out quite nicely on this team. Because the thing is, he does share the 7 links with Dark King Fu, but I wouldn't say Dark King Fu is like an optimal choice to run in difficult content now. But yeah, and unfortunately that can always happen with units that have the chances for their additionals to become supers right in the turn, that you just do a super and then 2 additional normals, no hidden potential proc, and so then that's it. All they do for the turn is the 1 super, which for this guy, because he infinitely stacks attack, obviously you want him to be getting as many supers as possible within the turn so that he can keep building up and doing more and more damage. Because obviously if you're getting like 3 or 4 supers every turn, by the time you get through to like, you know, turn 7 or something, he's going to be dropping some big numbers. So we've got both the Gokus here. Did I get 7 orbs for the other Goku on the first turn? I mean, I think I can get them for both here, yeah, because we do that, and then we do that. And then we do that. Nice. Alright, so don't really care about this rotation though. We're just playing through this to get to back to Fu again. But yeah, the extreme version of the team could be super fun, with Demigra as like a decent slot 1 unit. It's just the leader. Like, you can't really run a full extreme heroes team. Now, the thing with that, of course, is that all of these guys are going to be really interesting on Slug's team, which is a video that I'm definitely looking forward to doing. Although, unfortunately, both Demigra and Fu only get 170 lead from Slug. So the Heroes team, I think, is the only team where Fu gets a full 200%. Let me have a look. Dokkan info. Fu, 200% leads. Where is it? So he's got quite a few 200% leaders, but a lot of them are super class units. It's literally Tech UI Goku, the physical Sword of Hope Trunks, because obviously he's a time traveler's 200%. Then you've got Tech Fusion Zamasu, who's a bit outdated at this point. And then STR Carnival Goku, like the Hachiyak movie Goku, because it's Battle of Wits. And then the other ones are all just the Heroes units. So in terms of like meta-relevant leaders, it's like Tech UI Goku, and then the Heroes, like, if you want to call them meta-relevant, right, still Goku, and then potentially Vegito and Rose. So I guess if you do want to make a full extreme team, you'd have to use Rose, but then it's tricky, like, who are the slot 1 units? Tech UI Goku, obviously he's not really fitting on that team super well. He does want the extreme ally or a super class enemy. But here we go. So did we turn... Okay, so we got the orb changing with Fu. He changed the field into Tech and AGL, and then I guess Dark King Fu changed all the Tech orbs into STR, which funnily enough does work for these guys on this turn. So we can go ahead and do that. Do that. And then, yeah, unfortunately though, Meki Cabra gets kind of screwed over because of the his rainbow orb changing then essentially was like undone, but gets up to 13.4. I mean, this is the thing with any unit that's stacking attack. Obviously, as long as we get decent RNG and are actually getting the additionals, like, we are going to stack up very quickly. But that's 2 turns now where he's just done like 2 additional normals. We did get the hidden potential additional this time, so, you know, close to 30 mil worth of attacks. But then he's not dodging consistently. His raw defense over 1 million, 40% damage reduction because he got 2 supers. So, I mean, he's still going to tank relatively well against tough bosses. Obviously, some of the difficult meta bosses are STR, like the God Bulma, and then, you know, Goku and Frieza when we eventually get that event on Global, or if you are a JP player. So him being AGL is definitely helpful as well. But, yeah, turns where you just do a super attack and then a bunch of additional normals are always going to be at least a little bit disappointing, right? But what can we do? So let's do this. There we go. But yeah, I mean, I think Fu's pretty good. He's not like anything super crazy, but again, like I said this in the Goku showcases, it's kind of, that's kind of the theme of this final hero celebration, isn't it? Like nothing too crazy, pretty decent, but you know, these units aren't like super busted, super powerful. But Fu, certainly interesting utility. The whole changing the field to all AGL and tech. We've never had a unit that does that, right? Change the entire field of orbs, but into 2 different colors. And like I said, I guess we'll see that when we do the showcase for Demigra, but that'll be interesting if we are running like Demigra and Fu as a rotation, because then he changes the whole field to tech and AGL. Demigra can pick up all the tech orbs, and then he can pick up all the AGL orbs, and then that would give you a ton of healing on that turn as well, which would be really good. So, alright, so you get locked in slot 1, which is kind of annoying. Alright, so let's do this, just so we get the extra defense for the turn. And then grab those. Grab those. Grab those. Alright, so I mean, Fu seems good. Million defense-ish or more, depending on how many supers. 40% damage reduction. Decent, like, built-in crit chance. He's basically just solid, like, all around. And obviously, the more attacks he does, the more his attack stat is going to build up. So he can get to the point where it's hitting relatively hard. By the time he does his second super, he already has built-in, like, 40% chance to crit. So he's going to be able to do damage relatively well, even against type disadvantaged characters, by getting the crits. Of course, now that Goku, you know, gets locked in slot 1, absolutely goes off with the additional supers here, which I didn't want, because I want Fu to actually do something. Gets another 1 at least, and goes up to 15.2. So, I mean, Fu seems good, but the other thing is these numbers, like I say, are him on this 200% lead, which, if you're not running him on the Heroes team, he doesn't really have any other great 200% leaders. So, you're not going to be seeing the same numbers if you're running him under just a 170 lead. So that is something worth like keeping in mind, but still very much looking forward to trying him out on the Slug team. It's just a shame, like pretty much all of the other big bad like Demon Realm characters from Heroes are all on Terrifying Conquerors, but this guy isn't, despite, you know, Kid Fu and the Universe Tree Goku fight being about Fu trying to conquer all of the timelines, or combine and take over all of the timelines. So the fact that he's not on Terrifying Conquerors, I think, is a bit disappointing. Mainly because it means he doesn't get Slugs 200%, and it was a team that I've very much been looking forward to running him on. So we will be doing that. Once we've done the individual showcases for each of the new units, we will be jumping into the new events and all that kind of stuff, trying them out on different team builds, and just seeing how they get on. Very much looking forward to seeing what kind of team you can build for Goku, like using Goku outside of a Heroes team. Demigra on Slug's team is going to be really good. Aos is an interesting one because she's a support. She's not on like a ton of like super relevant teams, as far as I know, at least when it comes to 200% leader skill. But she's still going to be pretty good. So, but yeah, Fu without big bad bosses for the first time we see here. So he's only got 254k defense start of turn, which is obviously significantly not as good. So if we do this, and then we do this. Yeah, this guy supers in slot 1 like super regularly. But there's Goku with the dodge, let's go. Yeah, dodge, like all the new Heroes units pretty much dodge and then additional, like I said. Goku has crit build up in his super attack effect. gets guaranteed crits on the active skill turn, has additionals built into his kit as well. So focusing on dodge and then the rest in additional is what I did. Same with Fu. Get those dodges in there, get the additional for the chance to do the extra attack. 13.7. So I mean, he loses quite a considerable chunk of numbers without big bad bosses, but remember, you are going to be running him with like Demigra, Mechikabura, like even if you're not running Dark King Fu anymore. So he's going to have those big bad bosses like link partners. So yeah, I think he definitely has the potential to be good in some of these events, especially, as I say, with some of the meta having like these tough STR bosses. He's still going to be quite good, I think. So let's do that. We don't need 7 orbs, we only need 5. That leaves all the STR orbs for you. Gives everybody else the buff. Will we kill him this turn, or will we get one last Fu attack in here? Because we can have Fu with Mechikabura on the next turn. Because yeah, Universe Tree Goku obviously not getting the support from Fu. He does have Fist Battle though. Okay, good. I was going to say, if Universe Tree Goku gets a couple of additionals here, he probably just kills him. But see, that's disappointing. Like we were talking about in the Goku showcase, how post-Super, after his intro buff wears off, he should still be okay. But him taking 100k from this buff boo, post-Super, obviously not his best turn for like links and stuff like that, but still a bit unfortunate. Alright, so here we go. Final turn for Fu. We've got Big Bad Bosses active again. Yeah, see, 54. He's not a slot 1 unit, but he seems pretty decent. So, will he be on the optimal version of the Heroes team? I'm not really sure. I still need to try out all the new units and really decide what I think the best build is going to be. Like, because Demigra could probably make the optimal version of the team as like a slot 1, and then obviously Fu would be great for him to go in slot 2, but will Fu be better than Mechikabura? I'm not sure. But we'll find out as we do more testing. So let me know what you guys think of the Kid Fu down below in the comments. I think he seems pretty solid. He's got a lot going for him. He's got a little bit of everything like in his kit. So he certainly is an interesting unit. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.